Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashlyn. Today I'm going to try to do a Free People inspired thrift flip of this sweatshirt. My goal is to make it look kind of like this, the Matilda sweatshirt by Free People, which is honestly perfect because my dog's name is also Matilda. This shirt does have a monogram on it, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to pick off with a seam ripper as much of the monogram as I possibly can. I'm not too concerned about if it looks holy or weird because there is a pocket on the Free People version, so I will be putting a pocket over the monogram area, but I am going to try to pick off as much as I can. I did pick off the very top of the monogram. I think with the pocket it really shouldn't show, so I'm not going to waste any more time doing that now. I am going to first cut off the bottom waistband, and then I'm going to decide where I want it to hit and cut, I don't know, 6 inches off maybe. And then I'm also going to make a cut down the middle because it'll be open. The neckline from side to side is about 9 inches, so I'm going to make a cut right around 4.5 inches. The bottom is right at 24, so I'm going to go find 12 in the middle, which is right here, and I'm going to do a little cut right there, and then I'm just going to connect this cut with the cut I made in the collar. Now I'm going to try it on again and see where I think I might want to hem it to. I typically like from shoulder to the bottom of my shirt to be around 23 inches, I think. Actually, maybe 21. So then if I do a 2-inch hem rolled twice, I will do 25. This is it with the hem rolled once. I do think it'll look good once I roll the hem again, which was my plan, but I just wanted to see if I liked that thick of a hem, but I do. So I'm going to roll it again and then I'm going to sew. Now that the bottom is done, I'm going to do probably about like 1 inch, maybe a little less, and roll that, and then sew along this for my buttons and my buttonholes for the edge. I'll fold this, pin it, sew it, and then I'll come back and do the sleeves, which I think I kind of want to be right around my elbow. Here, actually, I'm gonna run from that. So about because then I'll also add, so about 7, because I'll add some. I'm just gonna go and use a rotary cutter and cut the sleeves so that they're not in my way. Trying it on again to see if I like how it's laying and everything. I do like the sleeves at this length. They'll be a tiny bit longer because I'll reattach some of this, but I think that that's gonna look good. And I like the thickness, the 1 inch, and then if I want to button the top button, that will still look good. Yeah, this down here, this like bottom section is very, very thick, so I'm a little bit worried about how that's gonna work, but we're gonna make it work and it's gonna be fine. I cut 2 strips of the waistband to sew for the sleeves, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew them together, and then I'm going to serge them onto the sleeves. So I'm going to line up this seam with the bottom seam, and then I'm just going to clip all around the edges. sort of top stitch on this just so it lays flat, but I like how it's turning out. Now I have to do the pocket, the buttons, and the buttonholes, which I'm gonna save for tomorrow because I am getting kind of tired. We are going to finish this thrift flip today. I have to top stitch around the bands on the arms. I need to sew on my pocket, and then I need to sew on buttons and make some buttonholes, which I've actually never done. So we're gonna figure that out together. Up until now, I've been using this light purple thread, and I think for everything else, I'm gonna switch and do this dark green thread. I love dark green and like a purpley bluey color together, or like lavender and dark green. I love those two colors together. So I think for the top stitching on the arms and then the stitching around the pocket and the buttonholes, I'm gonna switch to this, see if I like it. And then I've been doing this stitch 16 as like my overlocking type stitch. I like the dark green. I think the dark green looks really good. The problem is you can see my bobbin thread. So you can see that like white bobbin thread. So I'm wondering if I should, because I've only done a little bit, I'm wondering if I should rip this out, wind a bobbin in the green. Yeah, I think I should. I think I should do that. I think I should wind a bobbin. The sun decided to come out a little bit. Look at the green. It looks so good. I'm like a little bit mad that I didn't use green everywhere. I'm not gonna rip out all of my other seams though. I'm not gonna do it. But I thought about it. I did think about it. So I'm going to do the other sleeve, and then I'm going to measure the monogram so I know how big I need to make my pocket to cover the monogram. The green top stitching was definitely the right call. I think it looks so good. Very happy with it. The monogram is about 3.5 inches by 4 inches. I think I want the pocket to come a little bit farther over. So I'll probably do 5, maybe by 6, and make it like a little bit oversized. I'm gonna use the extra fabric from the sleeves. So I'm going to cut it along this and then open it up and then cut a rectangle. I was really questioning whether the pocket really added anything. It 100% does. It is definitely needed. I love the green, and I actually, when I did the green on the sleeves, I was a little bit mad that I didn't do the green everywhere, but now that I have the green on the pocket, and then I think I'm gonna do the green for the buttonholes, I do think it's like a good balance to have the light purple and the green and not it all be green. So then it's like the little details really do stand out with like the buttons and the pocket and the arms. I did order some buttons specifically for this project, but they're a little bit smaller. Can you see that? A little bit smaller than I thought they would be. I'm looking at the inspo pics that I have, and these buttons are like way bigger than the one I have, and I do think the chunky button really adds to the look. So I might go out and see if I can buy some chunkier buttons. These are the small buttons that I have, and this is just one larger button. I do think these would work, but I think that the larger button really completes the look. I think it needs chunky buttons. These were the buttons that I was thinking about using, and they're way too small. These are the ones that I just bought. They are perfect. I think I'm gonna do 5, so I need to measure out where I want them to go, and then I need to practice making a buttonhole before I commit. I'm gonna take my tailor's chalk. Almost done. All I have to do is hand sew on the buttons, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do dark green thread or if I want to do a different color. I'm thinking maybe light green. I don't know. I will show you what I come up with. As a reminder, this is the before. Here is the final product. This is it on. I Love it. I think it turned out so good. I did a like mauve-y, pinky, purpley color for the buttons. I think it complements it really well. Yeah, I love it. I think it turned out great.